All right, we are live. I now call this meeting of the Bloomington Planning Commission to order. Due to COVID-19, this meeting is being held virtually via live stream. Public comment was accepted up until 15 minutes before the start of the meeting. And those who wish to speak and are on the phone, if you are not part of the Zoom meeting and you're dialed in, will press *6 during public comment portions of this meeting to unmute yourself. With that, can we please do roll call?
Mr. St. Amour.
Here.
Mr. Stanzik.
Here.
Mr. Dannenberger.
Here.
Mr. Boyd. Mr. Mulick.
Here.
Mr. Krieger.
Here.
Mr. Moore.
You already called me.
Okay. I'm sorry, I think I was trying to call Mr. Brady St. Amour. So I'll call Mr. Brady St. Amour again. And Mr. Tyson Moore.
Here.
Ms. Motni.
Here.
Ms. McCann.
Here.
Chairperson Hayden.
Here.
The quorum.
All right, at this time, we would open the meeting up for public comment. That's the time for anyone to speak on an item not on our regularly scheduled agenda. We do not have anyone registered for public comment, so I will move to item 4 on our agenda, which is a review of the April 14th meeting minutes.
I move to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Stanzik.
Yes.
Mr. Dannenberger.
Yes.
Mr. Mulick.
Yes.
Mr. Krieger.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Ms. Motni.
Yes.
Ms. McCann.
Yes.
Chairperson Hayden.
Yes. All right, that leads us to our regular agenda. Item A is Z-09-21 public hearing, review, and action on a petition submitted by Andrew Holt of Prairie View Development LLC to rezone from B1 General Commercial District to M1 Restricted Manufacturing District for the property located at 2441 South Main Street. Procedurally today, we will see a report from city staff. We will then open up for public comment from the petitioners and any wishing to speak for or against the petition. We'll then close the public hearing portion and then have discussion amongst the commissioners before voting on each item in turn. So with that, we will turn it over to staff on item A.
Please share my screen here. City staff are recommending in favor of the zoning map amendment request to rezone. It's approximately 6 acres located at 2441 South Main Street in Bloomington. The applicant is requesting the map amendment to go from B1 General Commercial to M1 Restricted Manufacturing District. Here's a photo of the subject property. It's actually 2 parcels, the building up here in front and then the parcel behind it. There's some other photos a little bit on later in the presentation. North of here are other storage and warehouse, as well as distribution uses. To the south are some vacant parcels, some of which are in the county. To the east is retail and to the west is a public golf course. So the Business 51 kind of functions as a barrier. You'll see in a second, but the zoning is primarily manufacturing on the west side of 51 and retail on the east side. And so the subject property is almost like a little bit of an island of B1 surrounded by manufacturing. The property is currently improved with Holt Supply Company, and then the second parcel is vacant. And here's just some photos of the site and also of the properties across the street, which are zoned. The photo on the left is RP Lumber. It's across the street. It's zone B1. It's more of a retail establishment, and the property on the right over here, you can see there's two. There's the mini warehouses, and then there's also some light manufacturing and distribution. The purpose of the B1 district is primarily to, it's intended for our larger commercial areas that are accessible by automobile. It contemplates unified site design and kind of a unified aesthetic. It's the M1 district is tailored more towards light manufacturing, warehouse storage, so light industrial uses. The district also allows for some retail uses with a special use permit and office as well. Looking at the comprehensive plan, the proposed map amendment will encourage the retention and expansion of an existing business. The subject property, the property owners is here and could provide testimony on this, but based on the information staff has received, the owner intends to add an additional building and kind of expand, but really focus on warehousing and distribution. The site itself has some hardships with it in terms of sewer. And so, redeveloping it with a use that's going to have require a lot of sewer flow, such as a retail or a restaurant, versus something in the manufacturing district like storage or warehousing. That could be a challenge for future redevelopment. Also, just with its proximity to the interstate and the interchange, it makes sense to have that this would be an ideal location for southbound traffic coming out of Bloomington, shipping out of our area. Looking at the standards for a zoning map amendment, the property was actually rezoned to business in the late 1990s with the intention of building apartments, and that fell through. And so it was improved with the current business and the current establishment. Otherwise, the property behind it has been vacant and is undeveloped. Looking at the compatibility with the adjacent districts, as I mentioned earlier, it's somewhat of an island in the middle of other manufacturing. Thinking about the uses that could go in the B1 district, those may not be ideal next to something like warehouse and distribution, where you're going to have heavier semis coming in, heavier trucks. Some of the B1 uses that are allowed are restaurants, retail, where you may have pedestrians walking and moving around. And so there could be some conflicts there in terms of traffic, just related to zoning and redevelopment. And then also looking at the map amendment, it really allows and facilitates investment in the existing property and also the retention of current businesses and current jobs, which is a benefit to the community. I can answer any other questions you have, but in general, looking at our standards for review, staff found those to be met and is recommending in favor of the map amendment.
Thank you, Katie. Any questions for Katie? All right, well then I will open up the public hearing portion of this agenda item and would invite the petitioner to speak. If you can please state your name and address, I'll get you sworn in.
My name is Andrew Holt, 8414 North 1625 East Road, Bloomington.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
That's correct, yes.
Thank you. Please proceed.
Everything that Katie stated is really on par with our request. So if there are any questions of me, I'd be happy to answer them.
Do you have any questions for a petitioner? All right, well, we've got you sworn in, so if we do have questions come up later, we'll ping you, Mr. Holt. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I don't believe we have anyone else on the line registered to speak on this agenda item, but if anyone wishes to speak in favor and opposition to this petition, please unmute yourself and we'll hear your testimony.
Neil Fenlon with the Farnsworth Group. I'd like to speak in favor of the project.
Name and address, please, and I'll swear you in.
You bet. 1113 Broadway, Normal.
You
Yeah.
swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
I do.
Right, thank you.
I think what I'd like, as usual, I'd like to start out by saying thanks to the commission for hearing the case, and then also to the staff. As Katie pointed out, we've had quite a lot of input from the staff, which we're grateful for. This appears to fit the M1 zoning to a T. One of the comments made a few minutes ago was in regard to storage and light retail. That's exactly really what the project involves. And we've gotten into the compatibility of this site, which Katie had also mentioned. And I know it's not necessarily germane to the zoning, but still applies in that, some of the details with regard to stormwater detention, conveyance of stormwater, the utilities, the traffic, the access, all those things are very compatible with the M1 zoning. And again, we're grateful for all the time and effort from staff to get us to where we are today. So happy to answer any questions. And that's why Andy and I are together, should you have any questions for either of us. Thank you.
Thank you both. Do we have anyone else who wishes to provide testimony? All right, then I will close the public hearing portion and open it up for discussion amongst the commission. Any thoughts on findings of fact?
I'd like to make a motion to establish the findings of fact as presented in the packet, and also that the recommended map amendment is in the best interest of the public and not solely for the benefit of the petitioner.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Stanczyk,
Yes.
Mr. Dannenberger,
Yes.
Mr. Mulick,
Yes.
Mr. Krieger,
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Ms. McCann,
Yes.
Ms. Motni,
Yes.
Chairperson Hayden.
Yes. Motion carries. Right, any discussion on the zoning?
Make a motion to recommend approval of the petition. As
Second.
presented in the packet.
All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Stanczyk,
Yes.
Mr. Dannenberger,
Yes.
Mr. Mulick,
Yes.
Mr. Krieger,
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Ms. McCann,
Yes.
Ms. Motni,
Yes.
Chairperson Hayden.
Yes. Motion carries. And that concludes that agenda item. Katie, does this have to go to council?
It does. It will go on May 24th.
All
All right.
Can I make one last comment?
Yes.
Just like to thank the commission on behalf of a local business owner. Very much appreciate your professionalism and your help with getting this done. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Holt and Mr. Farnsworth. Thanks for attending.
Thank you, folks. Take care.
All right, item B on our agenda has withdrawn. So we are going to move to item C.
Sorry. Can the petitioner's here, and so they can we have them do a formal withdrawal on the record, please?
Yes. Hi, this is Jessica Eastblast from Winthrop and Weinstein. I'm the attorney for the petitioner. And I'm here just to say that at this time, my client has chosen to officially withdraw this petition.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so item B is officially withdrawn. And then that takes us to item C, Z-11-21, public hearing, review, and action on a petition submitted by Lori A. Ludy to rezone from B2 Local Commercial District to M2 General Manufacturing District for the property located at 1300 West Washington Street. So we'll start this off the same way with a presentation by staff.
So likewise, staff is recommending in favor of this zoning map amendment. This is the subject property as it currently exists. It was originally the site of the Funk Brothers Seed Company office. And most recently, as you can see by the sign that's present there, it was a combination fabricated metal parts and craft and antique mall. It was rezoned in 1997 from M2 to B2 in order to facilitate the retail portion of the craft and antique mall. The area is predominantly industrial in zoning, if not in use. In terms of use, it's fairly diverse. There's social services, recreational facilities, including the Upper Limits climbing gym directed to the south there, as well as the Constitution Trail or part of it. There's a trailside subdivision to the south, and then an asphalt and concrete plant in the area as well. The property is fairly large. It was also, since it was the Funk Brothers Seed Company office building, it was identified in a survey of historic properties as one that might potentially be a candidate for nomination to the National Register of Historic Places. And the applicant is proposing to utilize the property as a hydroponic or aquaponic farming facility. Like I said, the zoning is predominantly industrial in zoning, if not in use, with that single family residential neighborhood to the south. In terms of zoning classifications, B2 is really intended to be sort of a neighborhood shopping center. It's intended to meet the needs of residential neighborhoods within proximity to it, as well as potentially be a site of employment for those residents. This doesn't quite fit the subject property and its location. It is the only non-industrially zoned parcel within a half-mile stretch, I believe, of West Washington there. And although there is the subdivision to the south, it's pretty substantially separated from the subject property by both the railroad and some heavy screening. So on the other hand, the M2 General Manufacturing District, it does allow for more intense industrial uses, but it does also allow for a variety of commercial and office uses, or commercial uses certainly, as evidenced by the other developments that have happened in that area. It also permits hydroponic and aquaponic farming by right. So the proposed use is relevant to the comprehensive plan goal of providing access to healthy foods and promoting food security, and that it would be a means of encouraging local food processing and distribution, as well as local food production. The comprehensive plan also identifies, I believe it's this area over here, this part of West Washington as Tier 1 priority infill, as well as regional commercial on the future land use map. As to the findings of fact, in essence, rezoning the property from B2 to M2 would allow it to be developed in a way that's more compatible with the surrounding area. the property's been vacant for at least 5 years, while other development has occurred within the last 10 to 15 years, including the subdivision and including, I believe, the Mid-Central Community Action site, as well as the Habitat for Humanity restore. It's also fairly well served in terms of infrastructure. And in essence, the rezoning would essentially make bring the parcel into compliance with the surrounding, or make it more conforming with surrounding uses and zoning, as well as contribute a unique addition to Bloomington's industrial landscape, as I don't believe we have a hydroponic or aquaponic farming facility. And with that, we're recommending in favor.
Thanks, Caitlin. Any questions for Caitlin? All right, if not, then I'll open it up for the public hearing portion of this agenda item. Do we have a petitioner on the line that would like to speak? If you are muted and you want to press *6, sometimes you have to press that twice.
I think it has to be pressed again.
Ms. Ludi, you want to do a sound check? We see you're unmuted.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. My name is Lori Ludi of 401 Southeast Street in McLean, Illinois.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Please proceed.
I'd like to say thank you to Caitlin for the presentation. I think that she was spot on with what we're proposing. We would like to bring urban agriculture to Bloomington Normal, and I believe that it is something that's in line with the West Bloomington Revitalization Project, as well as the facility would be perfect for such a business, and bringing fresh food items to that side of town. I guess, does anyone have any questions?
No questions from the commission, but we'll keep you on the line in case something comes up.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, thank you. Do we have anyone else that would like to speak in favor or in opposition to the petition?
My name is Diane Ludi.
Diane, can you please state your address for the commission? We'll get you sworn in.
3022 Joseph Street in Bloomington.
And do you swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Please proceed.
I just wanted to thank the commission for looking at our plan. And as an interested party, I think that this is a great way to bring the agricultural heritage back to the building, and definitely some jobs and fresh food supplies in a food desert that exists in the West Bloomington area. So I would like to support the proposal. Does anyone have any questions for me? Thank you again.
Yep, thank you. Do we have anyone else on the line that wishes to provide testimony? All right, seeing none, I will now close the public hearing portion of this agenda item and open it up to the commission to start with a discussion on the findings of fact.
I just wanted to say it sounds like a great idea to me, and I really hope that they're successful in their goals. Much needed, laudable goal for that space. I'll make a motion to establish the findings of fact as presented in the packet, and that state that the proposed map amendment is in the public interest and not solely for the benefit of the petition.
Second.
Okay, I heard John first, so we're gonna go with motion by Tyson, second by John, and roll call, please.
Mr. Stanzik,
Yes.
Mr. Dannenberger,
Yes.
Mr. Mulek,
Yes.
Mr. Krieger,
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Ms. McCann,
Yes.
Ms. Motni,
Yes.
Chairperson Hayden.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And I will now move that we recommend approval of the petition.
Second.
I heard Tom first. All right, roll call, please.
Mr. Stanzik,
Yes.
Mr. Dannenberger,
Yes.
Mr. Mulek,
Yes.
Mr. Krieger,
Yes.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
Ms. McCann,
Yes.
Ms. Motni,
Yes.
Chairperson Hayden.
Yes.
This too will go to City Council on May 24th.
Thank you, Katie. All right, that concludes our regular agenda items. We do not have any old business. We do have a few items of new business. So want to start with a resolution and of appreciation and a recognition of service of Commissioner Megan McCann, who has faithfully served as a member of our commission since 2018. And she has, as of Friday, will complete her appointment as a member of the Bloomington Planning Commission. So you've got a certificate coming your way. But Megan, thank you for your many years of service. And it's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, guys.
Similarly, would like to introduce this resolution of appreciation and recognition for Commissioner Sheila Motni, who has served as a member of our commission since 2020 and has resigned her post as of this day in April to go take on the new challenge as a city council member. So thank you, Ms. Motni.
Thank you, guys. I sure wish we could have gotten to get together in person this year, and I look forward to meeting those of you that I haven't met. So thank you so much, Megan.
One final recognition. Chairperson Megan Hayden has been with the commission for 6 years and has served as chair for the last 2 years, and she will be fulfilling her term at the end of April. So we wanted to recognize her. Here's Megan's certificate. Thank you.
Thanks for leading us through these tough times, converting to virtual, Megan. Really appreciate it.
Been a privilege. So thank you all for keeping me on for 2 years, and look forward to seeing you
great
going
working with
around.
you, Megan.
Well done. I know these virtual meetings have to be a challenge.
Yeah. Sorry, George. I meant it's been great to work with everyone except for George. But no, and can't thank George and Katie enough for all the support and leadership they've provided over the past 6 years. Been fun. All right, I think that concludes our new business.
Move to adjourn.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'll
Katie.
withdraw that if somebody's got something to say.
Nope, we're good. All right. We've got a motion. Do we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.